I needed to go find him or he was gonna die. This urgency to go find him started growing and growing and growing more in me, and I started looking for him.
Anna Hankins thought her husband's drug addictions were behind them. Now, after 3 years of marriage, Anthony had relapsed and disappeared into the streets of Los Angeles again.
I found him in LA at our crack house, and he asked me to leave, and I was like, I can't leave you here. You have to come with me.
Anthony decided to go home with Anna and later entered rehab.
When I went to the program, though, I found Jesus again in the program, and I had really given my life back to Jesus.
The two began going to church together and even renewed their vows.
We had a new start when he went through the program. When he had the desire, I saw his desire to get better. And at that point, I knew that God was giving us a new beginning.
Their hopes of a blissful future, however, would soon fade. With Anna coming from Colombia, South America, and Anthony raised in Chicago, cultural differences, such as how to raise their children, put stress on the marriage. But their biggest fights were about money.
A lot of tension. We had our first kid, and my ideas about how I was going to come and work and make money didn't pan out that way.
We were losing the house. He didn't have a job. I was working part-time, and he wanted to start a church. Kind of my resentment started going towards the desire of serving God. For the most part, I felt like God wasn't answering our prayers. That made me really angry. Where are you on all of this? How are we gonna make it to the next day?
Even then, Anna was determined to make the marriage work.
This was more like a commitment to God and His covenant. I had made a covenant with God, no with my feelings.
There were good times, and the couple continued going to church, always putting on a good face. But those times were overshadowed by the constant fighting and tension at home. Even though Anthony gave up on his goal of starting a church and worked 2 jobs, it was never enough.
I wasn't sure if I was connected to God the way I thought I was connected to God. And it made me doubt whether or not I was truly a son of God. And I just gave up.
After 9 years, the couple had little hope of keeping their marriage or family together.
Our marriage was just pretty much hanging by a thread. When I began to feel like there was nothing I could really do to try to make her happy or to fulfill that role, initially it made me isolate.
Then in 2019, during a heated argument, Anthony made a shocking announcement. He was having an affair.
I wanted to leave. I decided I wanted to leave. I felt like I shouldn't take this. Not even for my family. What are they going to think about me letting somebody walk over me like this? Feeling betrayed, feeling the self-esteem was not there at all.
A few days later, a friend invited Anna to a faith conference.
I said, okay, I'll go, just to take my mind off things. So I went this Saturday. The speaker was talking about the heart. She had the scripture, Ezekiel 36:26, where it says, I will give you a new heart. When I heard this word, I read it, I just went on my knees right there in this conference, in the middle of everybody. I just dropped on my knees and asked God to give him a new heart. If you really want this marriage to work, give him a new heart.
Then, just a few months later, Anthony had something to share.
There was a time I had a dream, and I was laying on a hospital bed. As I looked up, I could see all of the doctors like standing around, and I saw the light like right over, like they had been doing something. I said, what happened? And the doctor was like, oh, nothing, no worries, no problem. We just gave you a new heart. I have never experienced God like that. He gave me a dream, and it was an answer to a prayer, and that dream was real. It was a turning point. We pivoted towards God, and we haven't looked back.
We've been married at that point for 70 years, and this was the answer to my prayers for 70 years. I told him, just let's look up Ezekiel 36:26, because that's what he did with you. He gave you a new heart. He gave you a new heart. It was his grace to help me stay through these years and seeing the big picture for my husband.
Anna forgave Anthony and says over the next few months he became the loving and caring husband she needed, while she began showing him the love and respect he needed.
We have grown to love each other, to understand that we are a gift from God, that he is my gift.
Together, the couple has endured life's toughest battles, including a medical issue with one of their 4 children and the untimely death of their oldest son. They know their love and respect for each other, prayer, and their faith in God will help them stand strong in the years to come.
He has changed so much. The man that I have now is the man I prayed. I feel so proud of him. I mean, he has overcome so much. I feel proud of him. I'm so honored to be his wife.
I see my wife and my marriage as a gift from God. She's a constant for me, in season and out of season. She never gave up on me. She never gave up on me. So she's my constant.